Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a bit different. I wanted to introduce myself to you and talk about my racing game career, if you can say so. Also, I wanted to talk about my YouTube channel, how it all started, and what my future plans are. So first things first, who am I? My name is Alex, I'm 31 years old and I come from Germany. I lived in Munich for the past 6 years and I moved to Switzerland last year in July due to a new job. As you can probably imagine, I'm a big fan of motorsports, racing games and cars. Unfortunately, I don't have as much time for YouTube anymore, but I'm trying my best to keep up the content. So, how did I get into racing games? It all started when my dad bought me and my brother our first computer. My very first racing game was Viper Racing on Windows Millennium Edition back in 2000. In 2003, I went for DTM Race Driver. This one was more of a sim racing game and the first time I used a controller. As you might have noticed, I'm still using a controller today. This part of my childhood was followed by an amazing era, the Need for Speed era. My absolute favorites were Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Most Wanted. I can't remember how many hours I spent on these two games. It must be hundreds if not thousands of hours. Then I switched to console games. My first racing game was F1 2005 on PS2. This was next level racing at that time. Fuel consumption, tire temperature, live commentary, it absolutely had everything at that time. I stayed with F1 for quite a long time. I played F1 Grand Prix on the PlayStation Portable, better known as the PSP. I played F1 Championship Edition on the PS3. The graphics were insane. Actually, it still gives me thrills when I think of this great game. Then came the Codemasters F1 games. I loved playing F1 2010 and the following games, but it became more of the same. Without a doubt, Codemasters made some great racing games at that time. They even made me complete the entire Dirt series to 100%, even though I never was a rally fan at all. I started with Gran Turismo in 2010. GT5 was actually my first Gran Turismo game. Back then I just wanted to achieve the Platinum Trophy. This took me more than 3 years. In May 2016 I then completed GT6 in just 1 week's time and uninstalled it again. It just wasn't the same. In December 2019 I then bought GT Sport, more than 2 years after its release. This was when I started my YouTube channel. In the beginning I just wanted to share some daily races. Looking back at those races, I must say my driving was quite awful. I then shifted to hot laps, not because I think I'm a super quick driver, but I thought that the laps might help some other people. Over the past few years I managed to improve my driving quite a lot. When I started with GT Sport, I was more than 3 seconds off world record on most tracks. Well, maybe not at Tsukuba Circuit and BB Raceway. I managed to close this gap to 1 second on average. Sometimes I'm far off the world record. That is when I only have half an hour to an hour to do my hot lap. These hot laps are quite time consuming. A single video without voiceover takes me at least 2 hours. Hot laps can get really frustrating. Some even took me 6 to 7 hours. My goal is always to drive a perfect lap. I know that I'm not one of the quickest drivers out there, but still I want to create some decent content for every single one who subscribed to my channel. At the end of last week, I thought to myself, why not do some voiceovers? I uploaded almost 1,000 videos in the past 4 years, and I only did a single voiceover video. That was with the crappy standard headset which came with the PS4. I knew I could do better, but I never had the confidence to start with voiceovers. So last week I finally bought a mic, not an expensive one, just want to try out some new things. Someday I might upgrade my equipment. So what are my plans for the future? In the near future I want to do some explanatory videos from my personal perspective, and I will try to answer all of your questions in my videos. You can post them in the comments if you like. I won't do any commented lap guides for now, but I will do someday, as many of you asked for that. First, I have to improve on my skills for using video editing programs. At the moment I'm still using Share Factory on the PS5, basically because I still have an old MacBook which won't let me update the macOS version anymore. In the further future I will set up some commented live streams as well. This could be a great way to interact with you all. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. See you in the next video.